Passing out the medicines. We've been on that rock star regimen, knowing that I'm heaven sent, higher than I ever been. I got a problem with.
What's going on, guys? This is the Totally Blitzed podcast, the show about shots, smoke, and of course, some good old-fashioned football. This is the AFC Nfc Conference Championship Recap episode. We're your hosts, Paul Pick'em Win'em Concha, man with the big beard, making even bigger bets every week. And I'm always joined with.
Hey man, you already know Rich Shawty himself, the little KK, aka the Don PYE, aka Kev Waterboy Savoy. In case you ain't know, I don't give a fuck because we gonna keep going. You know what I'm saying? And we out here, we got the AFC NFC Conference Championship recap for you. And I'm not gonna lie to you, I had to hit you with the recap real quick because god damn, another good weekend of football. Like, what did we do to deserve this?
Football gods. Damn, boy, you just throwing them back like Tic Tacs.
Bruh, if you gotta understand, I use these shits too much. I'm not supposed to be grinding weed and like, what do you think I do all day? Like, I'm not supposed to use my wrist at all. Like, these should be on fire.
Yeah, well, before we jump into the recap of both those games, because once again, both games basically almost came down to the last play. So we had a few stories going on around the NFL news since last time we talked to y'all. First one's first. I'm gonna break it off with Tom Brady is retired. He's done. That's for sure. There's no questions. We'll be signing, from what I've seen, a one-day contract up in Massachusetts next year, and he will finish his last game as a Patriot, where he brought 6 of his 7 titles. Dance on him. I will say though, personally, bro, like this kind of shits on Big Ben maybe making the first round Hall of Fame, because now Tom Brady's for sure going in first round, and I don't know if they're taking 2 QBs that year.
Have you heard the good news? Hey, sayonara. Hey,
TB12.
TB12, man. We like you, man. We gonna miss you, man. Yeah. Let's go. Come on, bro. Oh, man. Oh, let's day 4. The nigga gone. Can he go? He's not coming back. Please go.
He's out of there, man. Bro.
He ain't got no little brother we got to worry about. No cousin. No, he ain't got no. Oh, my God, bro. Oh, my God.
I don't even think he has a son. I know he has a daughter. No, he does have a son, but he's young. So who knows?
We don't got to worry about him for another 20 years. It's like, what if he had like a son like Bronny or something? Like, he like right there. I'd be like, oh.
I think he's in middle school. That's what I say. I think he's maybe, because I remember when he was on the Patriots winning, that kid was in like elementary school. So the kid has to be in middle school now.
Hey, all I know is I'm going to take a lot less pain relievers now that my boy gone. Hey, man, shout out a great career. Hey, man, my number one nemesis, arch rival, enemy, public enemy, Kev's enemy number 1, the number 1 man on my hit list. Whew.
It's gone. Taking a step away.
1990, Paul, you understand I was born in 1998, so we've been beefing since day 1.
A1.
He was in Michigan. He was in Michigan out here doing what he was doing. I was coming out the womb, and I was like, there's just somebody I don't like out here. Like, there's somebody that I just know I have. There's a common enemy out here. I got to do something about this. And like, I didn't do shit. This man went 10-0 against us. 10-0. Bro came back. This is my first time ever saying this. Like, bro came back a 25-point lead, a 25-point deficit. Bro came back on us. And not only did he do that, bro came to my city where I'm from, won a championship. Man, fuck that. But we don't got to deal with him. And then he come to my division, bust us 4 times in a row. Like, we didn't already have fucking.
Damn.
It's crazy. I actually got a funny story about that game that I got a nugget from watching the Flying Coach podcast with Sean McVay. But how do you feel about this man retiring? Because you see, this is like, there's no better news that I could get than like Julio Jones coming back to the Falcons. Like, there's no better news I could have got.
I'm gonna say like where like Tom Brady's GOAT. I've seen him win numerous of times. I've seen him probably win more Super Bowls than I've seen other teams win Super Bowls
Yes.
in my lifetime. So he doing what he did, and like I know you was his number one enemy. It was to me. I always hated the guy for being a Patriot. I got to see him twice a year, but I did enjoy the respect he gives to like former Dolphin players, like Zach Thomas, like he would Cameron Wake, like he would be like, oh yeah, those Dolphins defenses were like one of the harder defenses he had to see it early on back in the day. So like I always respect like the Big Ben and then the Ravens, like that all-time rivalry where both teams are like kind of like respect each other. Towards the end, we didn't have that because we were kind of shit. But even then, we're Miami Miracle, we pulled out the dub on the last second on them. Like, there's just something fun about them. And it's like, I know that the Dolphins owned the Patriots on record up until 98. And then all of a sudden, they're just like Aaron Rodgers came to town and Brett Favre came to town for the Packers and started turning the win-loss record around for the Packers versus Bears. That's what Brady did for the Patriots. I mean, like, fuck, like, I would be happy to split it once a year with him. Like, that was like, thing. Oh, well, at least we beat him once out of his 3 losses this year, his 4 losses.
I'm just saying, them boys is probably what I know. They went 0-2 this year. What they go 0-2 last year, or 1-1 last year against y'all?
Probably 1-1 because we lost our first game to them. Cam Newton had like a 300-yard game.
3-1 against them boys. I'm just saying. It might go back. I'm just saying.
And seeing what he's done, and I give it to him as the all-time great just because I watched Peyton Manning's final year when he threw 9 touchdowns, 16 interceptions. I watched Phillip Rivers last year where he couldn't throw the ball further than 20 yards. I watched Eli Manning's last year where he was basically being benched for Geno Smith before his final days. And then, like, I've seen Joe Flacco jump teams, but like none of them were 44 and maybe winning MVP, and if not first, he's second for MVP. And there's no one else that's even really
Cooper Kupp.
Oh yeah, Cooper Kupp is they are making that strong push now. But right there, top 2 NFL quarterback at the age of 44, and it's not like he's leaving the game because he kind of has to, which a lot of these other all-time greats were kind of had to do. He's leaving the game because honestly, he might just be tired of playing it. Like he just wants to go sit back with the family and build a business and make billions of dollars sitting at the house clicking buttons and posting little funny videos. Because that man is great on like his social networking skills, phenomenal. Like I don't know when he picked them up, but hey, he's gonna build himself an empire. So shout out to him leaving the game on top in his own way at the age of 44.
I respect you. He's on his way to being a billionaire, most definitely. He has a lot of great adventures. He has the autograph.io, which is the NFT, which I'm big on NFTs if you don't know. Motherfucking, he has the TB12, and then he has the Brady family. What is it, Brady something?
He has the Brady. I know you're talking about, and then he also his film crew, the people that did all the documentary, like the not Slaughterhouse, that's Eminem, but like some Shoot House something. But the list goes on and on. Nutrition.
So they definitely got some stuff going on. He has a lot of stuff going on. He's venturing out, doing a lot of crazy cool things. So like, shout out him. I hope he has a great another 30, 40, 50 years of his life. He's cool. It was a pleasure to lose to him because like, if you can say, like, if anybody asks me who was the greatest of all time, I'm going to say, like, TB. They're going to be like, why you say that? Name somebody I can't beat.
No one.
Name somebody I can't beat. Like, they're going to say. And they go like, damn, K, I'm like, TB. Anytime I seen him, we lost. We lost every time.
And with TB, I'm going to say, I don't know this stat at all. Someone can look it up out there, but it would be hard to find any quarterback that has a higher win loss, like holds the win loss over Brady. I would say like probably any quarterback that he's played at least 3 times to have, like, he probably owns all the, like, not all the wins, but he's leading the win loss category.
I don't know, Ryan Tannehill. I don't know Ryan Tannehill. You know what I'm saying? He did put that thing on him in Tennessee.
He did. That would be a tough one.
I don't know. Ryan Tannehill kind of got that thing, put that thing on him. I don't know.
And then on to the next one. We had, this one broke today. Washington football team, no more. They are now the Washington Commanders. I don't really like the name. I honestly like the football team better than the Commanders, but I guess that's what we're rocking with. And the funny thing was, Chase Young was actually asked about this name back in November, and he gave it an F, and they still went with the name.
Hey man, I look at it like this. It probably has something to do with the fact that they're like in the capital, so they probably did commander in chief. I don't know, but it's something like I guess it's something to run with. You can merch off of that. It's way better than having a merch that says football team. Like what? So like it's something. I think you could have got. Your only choice is to come back with the rawest uniforms in the league. Like you got to do something. You got to splash. You got to do something. Like come back. You know how the Panthers they be having the live panther running around and shit like that. Come back
$1 billion panther.
Yeah, come back with some crazy shit, man. Y'all do some splash because like you didn't hit with the name. Like nobody said, yeah, man, Commanders. Oh yeah. Like somebody I seen Pat McAfee, they was calling the boys a commies. I was like, that's pretty cool. But yeah, the boy, I'm not gonna lie, they ain't hit with that one. But like, I don't know, it's kind of tough to hit with a name because like
they all sound weird at first.
Yeah, nobody really gives a fuck. Can you go win games? Like, imagine the motherfucker that said, "Hey, yo, you heard about that new team in Tampa? They got a team in Tampa. What they call the Buccaneers? The Buccaneers? The what?
Yeah,
the Buccaneers? Like what? Nigga, slap the Pirates."
And I swear, everything's gonna sound weird at first because it's new. I mean, after you hear it for 20 years, the familiarity of it, then it starts. But they have had the fastest selling jersey, I think, of all time. I don't know if it's all time, but they have the number 1, 2, and 3 jersey beating out the Tampa Bay's Tom Brady's jersey that just spiked after he retired. So the fan base maybe don't like the name, but fastest selling jersey. They said the Terry McLaurin and Chase Young jerseys are number 1 and 2 right now. The burgundy colors.
But think about it, these people probably been waiting though. Like they probably been saying, "Fine, fucking me."
Oh yeah.
Like I'm not getting no team. I'm not getting no merch that says football team on. Like I'm not getting no gear that says football team on. That's disrespectful.
Hey, and then what the biggest story outside of the Brady retiring, probably the biggest story of all of them, is the Brian Flores NFL lawsuit for the systematic racism. Miami's basically forcing him out the door. The Giants not giving him a fair shake, and neither did the Broncos. And he's just the only one named, but I've read that it's like a whole bunch of coaches, but he's just the face of it. Like,
I respect it. It is what it is. There's definitely some crazy shit going on because like remember at one point the NFL said like, "Yo, we'll give you guys a bonus, like an extra draft pick or something if you hire an African American or like somebody of just a minority." And I was just sitting there thinking like, what the fuck? What y'all get bonus points for this shit? Like, hey, yeah, please do it. Like, throw you like if you don't get the fuck out of my face with that shit. So like, there's probably some funny business going on, and like, this is the best month to get down to business, figure it out, investigate. Well, they say they got text messages, this, that. But what I've learned from coaching so far is that this shit is genuinely a fraternity. Like everybody knows everybody. Like. It's like everybody knows everybody from a young age. Like Kyle Shanahan's dad was Mike Shanahan. He's a 49ers coach. Imagine like he's a 49ers coach because he called the plays for the eighth highest, well probably not anymore, but one of the greatest top 10 highest scoring offenses in NFL history. So that's probably a good reason why for your resume. But he was talking like motherfucker, this man was a ball boy his entire middle school. Like kind of has a relationship with these people already. Like he knows these people. Like motherfucking Sean McVay says his grandpa to get that job in Washington, his grandpa Tim McVay knew Mike Shanahan. And like that's like there's so much, it's a fraternity.
It goes deep.
So if there's some funny business going on, I believe it because at the end of the day, everybody just kind of wants like everybody to kind of know. Like that's the reason why there's a circulation of coaches like 24/7. There's the reason why Jason Garrett continuously had a job. Like there's a fraternity. Like as long as one person recommends this guy, then they start doing some research, looking around. So like there's definitely some funny business going on. You can think it's some racism, but I think it's just exclusivity that just is all over the place. Like let's get a black owner for the Broncos, which is I hope I'm giving away the next.
Million.
Yeah, let's get a black owner for the Broncos to see. Like, let's see what there's like exclusivity, but you can't really. That's probably not even how you say the word exclusivity. But there's like, but you can't really say that. You can't get upset about it because it's always been like this. Like these same people, like these billionaires and stuff like that. These are the same families that have been owning this shit forever. Like, can't really like you can't or like it's not that you can't trip. It's like nobody's looking at it as if there's anything wrong because that's the NFL in general. Like NFL's been around longer than cars have.
Yeah. But I agree. I think also like I don't think racism should be a part of it at all. But when they brought in the Rooney's rule where it was now they have to interview at least one minority coach before they hire a coach. In my head, I was like, I honestly don't think that's changing the owner. Like if the owner wants Kellen Moore or whoever, or the Sean McVay, just like you said, like everyone comes from everybody. Like, oh, everyone's talking about Kellen Moore. Everyone's talking about maybe Mike McDaniels, Brian DeBall out of the Bills, like all this. And it, like, if he wants that guy, he's going to sit down and he talks to him. I don't think like these owners are so like closed-minded. There's no, he's already hired his guy. He's not changing his mind. And then like all he's doing is checking a box at this point. Oh yeah, we brought in Brian Flores for an interview. Just like he said when he went to the interview with the Broncos, John Elway and the GM came in hung over, but he could tell like super hung over, like an hour late, and just kind of shoveled everything like in and out. And I was like, the only reason they probably even had the interview was due to the Rooney's rule, which is the NFL just finding a way to check their box. Like, oh, we did it. Same with like Darius Butler said, oh, they found racism on with Dan Snyder as an owner. And then what did they do? They put big stickers that said "end racism" on the back of their helmets. Like that's the NFL fixing it. And then what are they gonna do after this? Put bigger. And he was like, what are they gonna do after this? Put even bigger stickers on the back of the helmet. And he was like, as long as it's an exclusive club of 32 people that get to decide everything, and all 32 people all look the same and sound the same and all the same point of view, it's gonna be it's gonna be kind of hard. And they're all billionaires, so they all are like top 1%. So it's kind of hard to even level with them, and they're the ones doing everything. So like that exclusivity has always been there. It's going to be hard for it not to be there because as the NFL makes more money, who gets more rights? And it's probably going to be the owners because they're the ones that invest in the money. Like it's just like Roger Goodell wants to please everybody.
And imagine like, just imagine like this is a business to them. This is football, but this is business. Like this is one of the ways they get their fortune. Like this is something they pass down in their families forever. Like there are certain teams that have that people that have minority rights in certain situations, and 0.5% of a football team is a fucking lot. 0.5% is a fucking lot. But it's just like if nothing's ever been changed in the beginning, middle, or end, like what do you expect? Like this is a start. This is something like that, but don't just do it and then sweep it under the rug. Because like at the end of the day, it's the club. It's a 32. It's a club with only 32 people in it. Those 32 people have known each other for how long? People make these relationships. These people genuinely feel this way, feel that way. Like they know each other's families. They look at each other's lineages. They know each other's pedigrees. Damn near like it's the 32, like the big 32. Like you said, the 32 people, motherfucking continue to make the rules. That's what it's gonna be.
Yeah, like if it doesn't matter how mad a player might be upset, like they almost look like players as just like gears in a machine. Just like, okay, well, we'll just take this gear out and put this fucking gear here, and this gear's it's still gonna work. We're still making money, and it's like it's sick. But at the end of the day, that's how almost any big operational business making trillions of dollars is ran.
Facts.
But done with the politics of everything. We're back on the football. We're sticking.
I do want to say one thing though.
Oh, okay. Finish this off.
This is what I'll be talking about when the NFL is low-key slavery, but we're not gonna talk about that right now. That's low-key part of it. We're back to the top.
With that wrapped up the news around the NFL, all the little circulations, or at least all the big headlines, all the little shit you can keep to yourself. We got the AFC Nfc Championship recap right now. We had 4 teams walk in, 2 teams walk into the Super Bowl. First team not making it, poured one up for them. But just jump right into the AFC Championship. RIP to the Chiefs. The Bengals won 27-24 in overtime. How did you feel? Because as soon as we hopped on this call, that was the first thing you were rewatching it. That's just how good it was. Like, talk to me, Kev.
That shit was nice, kid. I'm not gonna lie to you. I appreciate. Paul, I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. I can't give you too much of my strategy, but like I really appreciate you picking the Chiefs because I got to really enjoy that game. Because like I would have been so nerve-wracking because the second because they came out balling, they came out looking strong. Patrick Mahomes is dancing, but I was just sitting there thinking like, that's kind of what you want him to do. Like, I was watching this and I was like, they're making plays because they're great. Like, but you kind of want them to be out of the game plan, out of rhythm, stuff like that. They're just great at what they fucking do. And Patrick Mahomes doesn't give up for nothing. I was like, but that's how you want him, comfortable like that, doing whatever, feeling that he can do whatever he wants. Like, it's kind of how you want him to play because you don't want him locked in like he was against Josh Allen. Like, what? Who the fuck going up against that except Josh Allen? Like, so I was watching that game and I was thinking like, okay, the Chiefs are doing what they do. The Chiefs are balling, but like, I hope they don't get too cocky. Like, and the Chiefs have a big stay greedy mentality. Like, and I knew the greedy was because you and me both talked about it in private text. But the second, we talking football chat. But the second they went for that, they didn't kick that field goal and they kind of kept going for it. And they blew the timeout. And I look back at the mic'd up, and Pat Mahomes is literally walking up to Andy Reid talking about something. I got it, one more, I got it. And I was just like, ooh, that sounded like me. That sounded like me back in that sounded like me whenever I would ask, whenever you was walking through PE and you ask somebody for a shot. Hey, yo, let me get a shot.
I got it.
Hey, one more. I got it. And then you miss that one. Then you take your book bag off. Like, hold on, man, I gotta get loose, bro. Man, I've been playing all day. Like, hold on, I just got home, bro. I'm high. Like, bro, I'm high, bro. Like, you gonna miss that shit, break that shit, and then you like, man, I'll be back, bro. I gotta go handle some business. I'll come back. And then niggas be like, God damn, that nigga suck. That was the
before.
Yeah, like that was legit the thing that went through my mind when I saw that. I was like, oh, I got one more. And I was like, I know exactly what you mean when you said you got one more. And like, shout out to Bengals. I'm a cringe because I have to give respect when respect is due. Eli Apple made a good stop on Tyreek Hill at the goal line, 1 yard line. It was a good stop. Shout out to boy. He made a play. He wouldn't do that to Travis Kelce.
Oh, fuck no. Travis Kelce would have moved him.
But shout out him. What's he called? He had and shout out the Bengals deep, the other defender that was behind him. So that way Tyreek Hill couldn't just shoot that boy. He had to really, if he wanted to do it, he had to go through both of them. So shout out, great stop for them boys. Chiefs got too greedy. And then we found out Zach Taylor in the Bengals defensive coordinator, who don't know his name, but he has a long resume of defensive jobs. They adjusted and they made it crazy for him. But the coolest thing about the Bengals, I respect them boys the longest because they kept it straight. And the entire time they was on it, we're straight. We're good. Like, you think he's gonna do this all day? And like I understand if you play basketball, you say that, but they're playing football. Like, you're saying, yo, like, you think he can do this every down? Like, we're good. We're straight. He's not gonna do this every job. We're not gonna allow that. And I was like, I've never seen a mentality before. I've seen people be like, yo, we got to get a turnover. We got to do this. They're just sitting there like, we're good. We're not going to let him do that all game. Let's get these nerves. All right, first drive, the nerves. Let's get these jitters out. Let's get that. So I respect the fuck out of that young team. They got some great coaches and great leaders. They probably got some great vets over there. Shout out the Bengals, man. Shout out Joe Shiesty. Shout out Jamar Chase, because that footwork is crazy. Their feet are so fast. And like, shout out everybody on that team by just staying glued, because they're the definition of what you want.
Yeah, it's funny that you say that the Chiefs in that last play before halftime, where they get the stop and Patrick Mahomes comes up to him. I didn't know exactly what he said, but Patrick Mahomes at time. I got one more. Look, imagine Tom Brady and Bill Belichick, bro. Belichick would have said, "Bro, sit your ass down."
Fuck up. Hey,
we know you're great, but we also have a great kicker. We also have been having a great defense. Like is this? I don't know. Also situational. There was no time left for the Bengals to do anything with after that stop. So and you're getting ball at halftime. You're already up.
That would have been a killer.
Yeah, you would have kicked the field goal, go up 24. I don't know if they had scored.
They would have went up by 14.
Okay, 14. 24-10. And then they would have got ball at half. And if that defense didn't build that momentum going into halftime, like the way they did, I don't know if it's gonna be the same. That's what ifs. But in the moment, I do remember saying, like, bro, y'all, the way y'all been working, first 3 drives, 3 touchdowns, and like this drive, walked it down the field. So like I was just, you're gonna keep doing this. You get another ball, like you have been up by 20 points going come in before they ever touch the ball again, or at least 21 points before they ever touch the ball again. It didn't go that way. And boy, I'm actually happy it didn't, because even though I picked the Chiefs with you, I was rooting for the Bengals, man. Like I was sitting there, like I was just like we're watching as these Chiefs, with a lot of people have in their mind, like almost like LeBron in the playoffs. It's like they're gonna make it. They're gonna make it. Like it doesn't matter how good this team is playing right now. They're gonna. But then we just watched as they got knocked off pretty handedly. Like that second half defense, what did they leave Patrick Mahomes' QB rating to? Fucking 0. You know what he went into halftime with? It was like a 130 or a 142.
146.
146. I knew it was it was just basically a perfect game at that point. And shout out to, there were some big ass plays like the interception in overtime that I just don't know what Mahomes saw. It was double on him. But one of the bigger plays was that third down, or I believe it was, where he fumbles the ball before overtime. And shout out to Sam Hubbard, who just, he was sitting there. And if you're just playing zone or just playing what you're supposed to do, you're supposed to just sit there. But that's football instincts. That's football IQ. He knew, like, I can't let Mahomes stand right there for 8 seconds. Like, that's way too long.
Hold on, Paul. Don't tell me. You watched film this week?
I watched
that boy Sam Hubbard was looking good on that spot.
That was his second sack too. Like he was already doing some things. And Trey Henderson was having that boy. And the thing about Mahomes is, like, getting 4 sacks on him is hard, because like he's not as fast as Josh Allen, he's not as fast as Lamar, but I don't think anyone has better pocket awareness with the way he just moves and just dodges traffic. Like it almost looks like he's just like, oh, you almost had me, and then it gets it off. And those hurt more to me than the 4-yard runs, 10-yard runs, because it's just like, it's deflating to the defender. Like, I'm literally getting this close to you. You almost had me. But shout out that defense. They didn't give up. They chased his ass down, made big plays when they needed to, and they didn't turn over the ball. Other than an interception, but I mean, like on the ground, like I know they didn't run the ball well. There's no fumbles on two on the other side.
Now that interception was crazy, but hey, Sam Hubbard looked good on that spot. Like he reminded me of Luke Kuechly a little piece when he was doing that shit. But you know what I noticed about the Bengals that is the 1,000% like difference maker between them and everybody else?
What's up?
They don't leave no points on the field. Every game is a new drive for them boys. Like they kick every field goal. And don't get me wrong, you got Money McPherson, who was out of Florida last year, up the street, motherfucking. But they don't give up the little things, and they figure it out. They understand that every game's a new drive. Like every drive's a new game, and they're gonna keep going. Like they don't care. They got short-term memory. The boys is nice to be that young and that, like, they got a lot of the little stuff right. And like I don't know if it's the leadership, if it's the coaches, but like there's something about that team that they got something out there they're building a formula. They just gotta. I said there was an O-line away from being a true championship contender. I lied. They didn't need the O-line to still be a contender in the championship. So shout out to Bengals, man. I respect them boys because they're playing in a time where, as a copycat league, you play 100 different games. But that team showed that they came in with a philosophy, a mindset, and they stuck to that shit. And they was blowing boys out all regular season, and we understand why now.
That O-line only gave up 1 sack, and like I know Joe Burrow took off for a couple runs, but like still that 1 sack was people thought it was gonna be similar to like the Titans game or 9. You coming off a 9-sack performance. The O-line coach chewed y'all ass up, did something, but y'all showed up. Chandler Jones didn't have an easy, or Chris Jones, he didn't have an easy day going up the middle. But
he got a sack, did he?
There was 1 sack who had it. It was Melvin Ingram had the sack. pickup from Steelers early on this season. But T. Higgins had a big day. Like they focused Jamar Chase. Not saying he didn't have a good day. 6 catches, 54 yards, and a touchdown is not bad. But T. Higgins, that 103 for 6 catches, like he was moving them chains. He was making those big plays. Joe Mixon's ass, 88 yards, 21 carries. He got the ball moving. Like he made a few nice runs. I think there was like a 20-yard run and then a 13-yard run. And who else? What? There was the backup running back who scored the other touchdown on like the screenplay. P. Ryan. It was like a 3rd and 12 or something. A nice little screen.
Samaje P. Ryan. I thought he was legit that went to Florida. He went to University of Oklahoma. But there was a dude on the sideline. There was like, bro, I didn't know who the fuck that running back was, but I just blocked for him though.
Yeah, he's the backup, and he doesn't get no time. Like this is Joe Mixon is one of those backs that just demands all touches.
Yeah, I love it. That's old school. You don't see that much anymore. But a shout out them boys, man. They played a hell of a game, like a hell of a game, and they stuck to it. They never got frustrated. That's what you want. Like if you have a high school team, you showing them that film. Like, yo, this is what you got to do to be great.
Don't give up. Like, yeah, you can be down, and this could be the fucking number 1 team in the state. But make plays, baby.
But what have I been screaming about Joey being the boys all year?
They're not afraid of nobody.
The boys don't give a fuck. And that's show. Like, hey, and like, I haven't picked them not one time this playoffs because I did not. Well, I picked them against the Raiders. But I picked them not one time, like seriously against them this playoffs. And they've just continuously shown, like, they know how to fuck the game up.
Yeah, so bravo to them. We'll see what they do next week in the Super Bowl. One thing to pay attention to was CJ Uzomah, their tight end, who had like 6 catches the first game and 5 the week before, who's been consistent.
And he's one of the leaders before the game's locker room, getting our team's hyped and stuff like that. He's one of the he was in that bitch screaming, "No, 1 game away from the shit we dreamed from little kid." He was one of them boys, and in the huddle, I was like,
he's the heart.
Yeah, that boy get right. That boy's something nice. I heard that he got an MRI, but he has 2 weeks though. Doesn't he have a chance to come
He has
out?
2 weeks, but I thought it was something serious. Like I don't know if it's as a tear. I don't want to say that confirmed, but I do know that I don't think he's playing Super Bowl. We'll have him for sure update when we break down the Super Bowl.
Bro, I have nothing but respect for any football players that play with injuries, because like I've never really been injured before, but ever since this shit happened to my wrist, I really understood like this shit doesn't just go away. Like I tried to take this shit off on Sunday to act like everything was normal. Like, no, my shit was still in pain. Like I was like, what the fuck, right? Like, what the fuck? It's supposed to be out for the season. Like, I was looking up. I was about to go look up sprained wrist. How long you be out in the NFL with a sprained wrist? Because think about being a D lineman with a fucked up wrist. You gotta go up against that big ass motherfucker every down. Like
probably a week or 2, bro, depending on how.
That's what I'm saying. So, like, I took my shits off on Sunday. That shit was still hurting like crazy. I was like, what the fuck? To this day, them shit still hurt. I'm like, what the fuck?
You forgot to tape them up. So you gotta tape them up real tight so you don't feel nothing. It goes numb. You take them off, then you have these big elephant hands. But in the moment, you good. You got a big club. In the moment, it's numb. You just pop like Nam and Sua.
Yep, I respect it.
But jumping over to the NFC, we had the Battle of Cali. 2 teams walked in, 1 team walked out. The home team, on paper, the Rams won 20-17 against the San Francisco 49ers, who was the home team off of paper. But I don't know. It was kind of split, which I found very dope. Like it said 65-70% of all tickets were 49ers. But when the Rams were rolling, they were getting loud. And when the 49ers were on the field, they were getting, I wouldn't say booed, but they were getting loud. Like it was just, I don't know, I found it pretty dope. It was like equal amount of noise for both teams.
I respected it. Now, I'm so glad that I did one thing that I just told myself I wasn't going to do this playoffs, but I was so glad I did that shit. I fell asleep for this game. I watched the whole first quarter, and I was like, and the entire thing I could only think about was the belt, and I was just sitting there like, because if the 49ers are one, like if the 49ers are one, that means I got it. Like I'm straight. Like, and then motherfucking, I was like, I didn't pick them. No, I didn't. But I'm telling myself like, yo, you didn't pick them. You just picked them to stay within 3. Like you pick, and then I was like, I'm going to sleep. I can't do it. That shit was boop, 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 boop.
That's how I be feeling when I make big bets. I just turn. I'll be like, and sometimes I throw like a parlay together with a big bet, and I'll throw like a hockey team that's supposed to win. Like it'd be like a super favorite in hockey. And I don't know nothing about the sport, but I'm like, hey, bro, he adds like $30. Oh yeah, add them to it. They're gonna win. Next thing you know, I'm watching hockey, and my heart's just do. Because then I'm mad at myself. Like, if I lose money betting on a game, at least I have no knowledge about, I'm pissed. But if I lose the NFL, at least I make educated guesses. At least I know why I did it. I'm just picking this because it looks good.
I really learned this season. Our job is not to predict the future. We're saying what we see and what we think could possibly happen off of what we've seen and what we heard.
We build a scenario of how the game's going to go in our head.
But we don't predict it. But we can't predict the future like them bitch ass niggas on national titles, on national programs attempt to do.
Yeah, no.
Our fellow sports fans.
Just like I couldn't predict the Joe Mixon bet hit, but I had the Tyler Higbee bet, and he goes down within the first quarter, and after getting 2 catches. And the backup tight end comes in and gets like 7 catches and 80 yards. And he's never played so I was just like,
oh, bro,
yeah, Blanton. Like I couldn't predict Higbee was going to be out after like the 1 quarter. And then I made a good educated guess on thinking the tight end was going to get involved a lot. Maybe I couldn't control the fact he gets hurt.
Kittle ain't hit for you? I seen he got that touchdown. I thought he hit me just on the touchdown.
No, it was 53 yards, and he only had 27. He didn't do shit.
He
had like 2 drops. Yeah, no, he had like a wide open 15-yard drop, and it was like he did that the game before too, and it was just like, where the fuck are your hands? Like you've been having the high catch rate, you've been very good, and now two catches on 5 targets.
Like, hold on, let's get into this game. I'm not gonna lie, this was a heater right here. I'm talking Sean McVay. I'm talking Sean McVay. I'm talking Shanahan. I'm talking Jimmy G. I'm talking Stafford. I'm talking Beckham trying to block Bosa. I seen a play. Odell Beckham was trying to block Bosa. And I was just saying, like, what did you expect to happen out of that?
I love where his heart was at, though. I love where the heart was at.
Oh yeah, Odell didn't move. Odell ain't flinched though. He was not like, hey, Joe Bosa just did what exactly what the fuck he was supposed to do.
But here's a shot to the 49ers. Your season was great. You made it a lot further than anyone thought you could. Jimmy G might hit. All signs point to him being traded, and he wants to go to a winner. So this was a lot. Like we're gonna have a new look 49ers next year, and I can't wait to see what way they go.
They're a great team, man. The way they play this game, the fact that they're up by 10 points at one point is great. The fact that that defense kept pressure on Stafford, they made them boys drop the ball. Well, there were a lot of drops. Like even Cooper Kupp. One thing about Cooper Kupp, when he drops the ball, he makes it up on that same. Not even like the next play. Like not like people be like, hey, no, don't worry, man, don't worry. You got more. There's more game to make plays. He makes it up within like if he drops the ball on first down, he's gonna make it up by third down. Like this is crazy. Bro had like I want to say he had like 7 targets, 7 catches on third down alone, like for over 100 yards. Like this man was a fucking monster. Like you can't do nothing about that.
Touchdown, I believe.
2 touchdowns.
No, I'm talking about on third down. Purely on the money down. Yeah, I think it was just 1.
That's scary because, like, do you watch his breaks? Like, you don't, like, as a safety, you don't know where the fuck he's going. You don't know where he's going until the last possible second. And then that's where he shows that quickness. Get straight through. But shout out Matthew Stafford. Matthew Stafford played a great game. Defense played well. And then defense dropped a lot of picks. But, like, this game could have went either way at any point. Like, I'm not going to put it on, a lot of people putting on my dog Tart. I ain't really my dog. I went to school with him, but like they were talking. But at the end of the day, like okay, he didn't catch the pick, but like that's still a good play on defense. Like you defended the ball. Like I like don't kill yourself over that with big homie. There's a lot more football to play after that. Like you still got to guard Cooper Kupp for another 9 minutes and 47 seconds, big homie. Like we got more football to play. But shout out the 49ers. They played a great game. They played well. But this was my face, right? So like I woke up, I can't remember exactly what woke me up, but I woke up in time to see the 49ers were winning. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? And then Matthew Stafford scored, tied it up. And then I got to watch the drive where Matthew Stafford takes it down. And Matthew Stafford takes it down, and they come up and they kick the field goal, and I'm just watching like, all right, motherfuckers, just don't do nothing stupid. Like, don't do nothing stupid. And then because at first I thought like maybe they could win this. Like, there's a chance they could win this and stuff like that. And this is what killed me. I looked at how much time it was, 1 minute and 46 seconds, and I was like, all right, 1 minute 46 seconds. And like this, literally every quarterback in this entire playoffs is taking it down like that, no problem. And I was like, all right, 1 minute 46 seconds with Jimmy G in his hand. I was like, I thank God for 3.5, and I went to go smoke. Like, I was like, this game's over. But if you look at the little things that they did, the Rams really came to win. Odell had over 100 yards, which was his first time in 33 games or something crazy like that. Motherfucking, if you look, Cooper Kupp and Jalen Ramsey were playing special teams. I don't know how normal that is, but like, those are two like all-pro players, like, and they're playing on the special teams right now. So like, it was amazing to see what Sean McVay was doing, like from with Cooper Kupp, again, everybody involved. Like, this Rams team looked fucking awesome. And Kyle Shanahan, I wonder what they're gonna try to say about him. I'm not gonna lie to you, I might be tapped in a little bit, because like, they saying that the last time he played in the playoffs, he was down by 10. He was down by 10, which is true because it was against the Chiefs. And then I guess you got when they lost Tom Brady and the boys. So Kyle Shanahan doesn't have a great resume when it comes to holding leads and stuff like that. So that's another interesting conversation that's going to come up this summer. But shout out to Rams, man. Sean McVay, it's one hell of a coach, man. They got a lot of stuff cooking over there, and they did their thing. Aaron Donald made the game-saving play, but put respect on Deebo Samuel before anything. Like, Deebo Samuel and Ayuk, because they really make Jimmy G look a lot better than he actually is, which is not a disregard of Jimmy G. It's just like, them boys look really, really good at all times because they make plays. They get that yak. So, like, shout out them boys for making the strong plays they did. Deebo Samuel was dumb emotional after the game. Motherfucker, it was a crazy game, man.
Yeah, no, it was a great game. And the Rams pulled through, but they covered 3.5, so we both pulled out the dub on this one.
Yeah, that shit was beautiful, man. Because, you know, when we shooting the podcast, I was thinking like, yeah, boy, I just need 3.
You got it. Hey, he answered. Neither team could really get the run game going. Elijah Mitchell, 11 carries, 20 yards. Deebo, 7 for 26. So, like, neither one really could do anything. But, hey, on the receiving side, like you said, it's all yak. So, like, Deebo, 4 for 72, and it's 44 was the long touchdown early on. The Rams battled back, and I didn't think they were. Honestly, there was a certain point in time where I thought this game was kind of over. Just because from what was going on early, no offense. The defenses were smashing the run game. It was only big chunk plays, and that was it. If you couldn't get a chunk play, you weren't going down to drive 12 plays, touchdown, nothing. Robbie Gold, that boy Robbie G still ain't missed.
Bro, you seen Jalen Ramsey talking that shit to bro, and then bro kicked him on the ass at halftime.
On top of that was I fuck with Robbie G for shit like that. Like, bring that hard-nosed shit to football. Like, just be like talking shit and back it up. Like, I would have loved to seen him actually clip one of the Rams players right there. And then also like, oh man, yeah, like, hey bro, this is the conference, this is a big game.
And they don't like they play each other twice a year. They hate each other.
Yeah, and Cooper Kupp did his thing, but so did Odell. And I love that he had 9 catches for 113 yards. I thought he was washed. That was what I was told. So I love that he's doing his thing.
Y'all really tried to tell me it was Odell. Like, I remember watching this shit. I remember thinking like, is Odell washed? No way.
People were telling me that Odell was done. The Rams first round bounce, and it's just Odell just keeps balling, and the Rams keep winning.
It's because he works so hard in the offseason. Like, if you see how hard he works, you understand. Like, bro works hard.
Yeah, like these are professional. Other professional athletes are coming to the defense like, bro, no one works as hard as Odell. Like, the other people that see him work, they're like, bro, no one's like, he's still an all-star. And then people at home who hate on Odell is really like, bro, he sucked. He's kicking nets. He's drama queen. All that shit. But on the field, I'm telling, no one wants to guard Odell, especially as the number 2 or number 3. Like if Robert Woods was here, this would have been, you would have had like a Deshaun Jackson type player on one side streaking, Cooper Kupp, and Odell coming in and switching off in the slot and not. Like this would have
been Van Jefferson too, though.
And there was just too many mouths to feed. But we'll see these boys in the Super Bowl. Matthew Stafford, I love that he's rewriting his narrative from being he was almost like a Phillip Rivers. It was like, oh, he never won any of the big games. He never won in the playoffs. He's not that good. Like, he's just pads his stats. And now he's at the Super Bowl. And then when he wins the Super Bowl, or at least he's made it to the Super Bowl, like, you can say whatever you want, but Matthew Stafford was like, he's the truth. He was the only reason anyone tuned in to any Lions game. And on Thanksgiving football, it was the only reason why you were watching Thanksgiving. It's like, who's this number 9 over here in the Lions? This motherfucker kind of cold with it. Jimmy G's going to go to a different team. All lucks to him. I actually would like to see Jimmy G go to a different team, and it's a completely different Jimmy G. Because Kyle Shanahan, even before Jimmy G, he was leading in yak. So he lets his players get the ball and big, like he's known just to give short passes and let people go make their yards and whatnot. So if Jimmy G goes to some team and starts throwing it up and shit, that'd be crazy. I don't think it'll happen, but I would love to see it happen.
Nah, Jimmy G is definitely a check down type of quarterback. A check, or he's more of a run check to me. Like he might as well go. He's a run check dude to me. I'm not gonna lie to you. But hey man, this is gonna be a great Super Bowl. We got the young team, we got the young Bengals, Zach Taylor, Joe Shiesty, the boys, that defense. Then we got the defense of the
more defense.
Yeah, more defense. Come on now. How many games have you seen? You got defense and defense. Motherfucking. And you got Matthew Stafford on the big stage, both quarterbacks for the first time. Aaron Donald's over here making plays in the NFC Conference game, pointing to his ring, saying, "Give me it, I want it, I'm hungry." Odell crying in the interview, saying they're tired of being bullied by the 49ers. And you know what you do with the bully? You punch him in the motherfucking mouth. And that's what they did. They came back, they stayed strong. So, hey, man, shout out them boys. I'm at the burn one for them boys. You might know something. That plus my
like even the Bengals, like same thing. It's just like it's gonna be hard to root for either one of these. Like I'm gonna be rooting for both these teams at the same time. Like the NFC team with the Rams, and I just honestly love this Cinderella story with Joe Burrow's first full year. Like he had a full year and he's already doing this. Like that's just insane. Where he went from playing 6 games and they were low key sitting at like I think 3-3 or something. Like they were not doing that bad. And so now his first full year, he's in the Super Bowl, and I'm just like, I love football, and he thrives in the moment. Like he has that the moxie, confidence, swag. He said, "Of course, these diamonds real. I make too much money for them not to be." Like that's the shit he be saying. I'm just like, oh, like
I respect you. I once seen an interview. Charlamagne asked Young Thug. He was like, because when they did the Punk album, Young Thug got they beat up the car, the purple, the pink Maybach maybe, Wraith maybe, but then motherfucking, he was like, so you rented that car, you leased that car, like Young Thug looking nigga like, bro, don't lease no motherfucking cars, nigga. That's the vibes I got from that. Like Joe Burrow was like, come on now. And what about me?
Shit.
What like he looked at not just about the diamond, he just looking at like, what about me is fake? Like, what about me is not real? Like, come on now. I'm Joe Shiesty.
That's Joe Shiesty and respect. And you got Jay Herbo and Joe Shiesty in the AFC for years to come with Patty Mahomes, the Grim Reaper, Josh Allen. Like, this is like everyone's been saying this is the end of the era because Eli Manning, Phillip Rivers, Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, and maybe and then like Matt Ryan and Aaron Rodgers and Russell Wilson, they said were tweeners.
We don't talk about that. We don't talk about it.
Oh no, I'm not. I'm saying y'all aren't like it's a different generation.
We don't bring up in my dog Matt in the R word. We don't bring it up. We just wait for it one day. We wake up and he's not the quarterback anymore. And like, I don't think we're gonna be too upset unless the next guy sucks. So like, we just leave. We don't talk about it. Like, when have you ever heard anybody talk about is Matt Ryan going to retire this year?
No, that's not what I'm saying. Y'all are the next generation. I didn't say he's retiring. I was saying Russell Wilson, Matt Ryan, Aaron Rodgers. Y'all are the next generation where like y'all still have 3, 4, 5 years. Like the last Phillip Rivers, Eli Manning, Peyton Manning, Tom Brady. Like he literally is the last of that 90s to early like 02, 03, 04. Big Ben, Drew Brees. This is like all them boys are out of here now.
You know what I be thinking of? Motherfucking, I feel like there was a problem because there's a gap in quarterbacks. So you look at quarterbacks now, like there's a lot of straight young talent, there's a lot of good old talent, but like like that 2011 to like 2014, you think like where are those people at? Like the people that I was eating back then, Colin Kaepernick, like motherfucking Cam Newton, like maybe like the back when the option was getting crazy, Marcus Mariota was supposed to come out and run shit. RG3 was that dude, like.
All injuries are blackballed.
And now you look at it, every quarterback can run though when they need. Every quarterback can get out there and go grind for those yards. So it's like, I feel like the NFL and everything's catching up speed wise. I feel like a lot of shit's catching up. Like that was something I was noticing. Like, dang, now I think about it, it's either there's old ass motherfuckers or young motherfuckers. There's no in betweens.
Yeah, and even some of the in between, like Andrew Luck retired. Like, so it's like those people were supposed to be the face of that. Marcus Mariota never panned out. RG3 never really panned out. He got injured. So like those big name like Carson Wentz,
Johnny Football.
Like there's a lot of people just never panned out. Geno Smith, the list goes on. And there's a big drought for a long time. And that's why it's only 32 teams and why it's the most valuable position. Because if you can get a top 5 guy, go all in on that boy. Like, look at this is why the Rams trade away the future. Because like I said early in the show, if they win a Super Bowl, none of that matters. All those storylines about was it too much? Although they have no first round picks to blah, blah, that shit don't matter. Just like when the Bucks have all these players go get Brady. Like, none of this shit matters if they win the shit. The AB shit off the field didn't matter when he won the Super Bowl. Like, none of it. Like that. So they're doing good. And if they can win it, we'll never hear again about was that a bad trade? Because no one will ever ask that question.
Hell yeah. But hey, man, that shit's been lit. I will say one more thing, dog. Like, it's a good day, man. It's just Thomas, you done had a long career, man. We appreciate you. Enjoy your time. Relax, chill. Don't put on no more cleats. Chillax. Enjoy your time, man. But I knew bro was different. When they showed the video of everybody, the Bucks in the locker room, like, oh yeah, we did that shit. Tom just packing the shit up all nicely and shit like that. And I'm just like, oh, this man really does this shit. Like, he's not tripping. Like,
Tom Brady's he's got that competitive drive. I respect it.
He's the number one most competitive person they've ever met. And I was just like, it was compared. I feel like nobody can be as competitive Jordan, because Jordan will bet you a motherfucking Jordan will bet you in a motherfucking who will come through that door next, a boy or girl. So like, motherfucking it's different, but like he's the GOAT.
Jordan's a gambling addict. That's all that is.
I don't know. I'm not gonna get into that. That's all. That's a conversation for a different show.
But break it down, Kev. We just recapped it all for him.
Hey man, this has been another episode of Totally Blitz Podcast. If you didn't know, now you know. You don't matter. You bitch. If you didn't know, it doesn't really motherfucking matter, because we're gonna keep giving it to you live. We got more coming. The season's almost over. Please enjoy your football. Stay safe, smoke, and drink whenever you can responsibly. And don't forget, when you have a chance, hit up Badfish Smoke Shop for all your smoking necessities, because they got you. Shout out all the teams that have gone fishing, man. And Paul, we out this motherfucker. It's been another Totally Blitz. Yeah,
problem with being problematic. Get the light beam on me, ready for electrostatic. Don't you step into this box if you're not batting. Then my gang got tools. You could call them boy crap, man. This gang got rules, man. You better watch your passes. This ain't not.